Hi, my name is Kristin. I'm currently a senior here in the dietetic program at The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. I'm from a small town called Little Hawking that sits along the Ohio River in the southeastern portion of the state. Some of my hobbies include dining out and trying different cuisines. My current cuisine of the moment is actually Cajun, believe it or not. I just discovered a restaurant on campus called J Gumbo's about a month ago, and I've eaten there about twice a week ever since I discovered it. I also love to decorate when I'm not busy with school or work. I am usually watching HGTV or I'm on Pinterest, pinning different things for home and gardens. Interest-wise, I am interested in traveling, especially to Europe in the next couple of years. I've traveled in different regions of the U.S., but I've never really gone overseas. So hopefully the opportunity will present itself once I graduate college and finish a dietetic internship. Dietetically speaking, my interests include community and clinical nutrition. Clinically speaking, I am interested in pediatrics and geriatrics. Something I believe that sets myself apart or distinguishes me from other candidates is my drive as a direct result from being from one of the poorest counties in the state and just being from a disadvantaged region. A lot of the people that I graduated with didn't get the opportunity to attend a four-year college or even college at all. So as soon as I got to Ohio State, I wanted to get involved with as much as I could and make the most out of the opportunities that I was given here. So I joined a sorority and got very involved with that. I've held various leadership positions in my 4 years here, and I've also taken advantage of various volunteer opportunities that have either been offered through Tried Out or just through the school in general. So it's been wonderful to have those. While I have an interest in geriatrics and pediatrics and clinical and community nutrition, I really wanted to expose myself to all the different realms of nutrition from my internship. Because, I'm still figuring out exactly, what I want to do, so I don't want to necessarily think that I don't like something and not even expose myself to it. While I've shadowed in different areas of dietetics, that doesn't actually kind of speak for doing or practicing that. So, my main thing that I was looking for in an internship was, variety and diversity. And so when I was looking at your program, I saw that it offered that, but I didn't know to what extent. And one of my sorority sisters, Amy Brunson, actually did your internship almost 2 years ago. And so I got in touch with her and asked her, what did you get from the internship? Was it great? Did you get what you expected? Did you get more than you expected? What did you like? And she told me that there's a great variety in preceptors and the rotations that you'll do on a week-to-week basis. She said, there's preceptors in the urban area in the hospital at Tulane, and you get great exposure to the clinical part of it, but you also get a lot of experience in the community, even in more rural, swampy areas. She said, you get exposed to people who live near the swamp and the communication barriers that you might face with encountering, different types of people, and that's exactly what I wanted and expected to get out of an internship, and didn't want to necessarily limit myself to maybe an internship that only focused on one main part, And talking to Sammy was also very helpful because she talked about how the internship was kind of a more, you work on your own and you don't have your program director necessarily over your shoulder all the time, making sure you're doing this or that. It was more an individual type basis where, it's really preparing you for getting out there and being a dietitian on your own, which is what I'm looking for. I want to be prepared in the best way that I can and take the steps to do that, so that when I do get out there and I'm working as a dietitian, I'm not relying on someone else to be there and making sure I'm doing the right thing. I want to be the best dietitian I can, on my own. It first kind of got started as a result of a health problem that I was having. It started around when I was 5, where I was just learning and staining, and we didn't know why. The doctors couldn't figure it out. They ran all these sorts of tests, thinking that maybe it was epilepsy, and we're doing CAT scans and EKGs and different things, and just couldn't really find it out. It got worse my senior year of high school, and it wasn't until my freshman year when I was doing more tests at the OSU Med Center that they found out that it was kind of a result of my blood sugar highs and lows, and how my vagus nerve was affecting that. And so they told me, I was like, well, what medicine can I take to prevent this? And they said, it's not, we can't really give you medicine, but they gave me a specific diet for me to start eating and things to change so that this wouldn't occur. So, when I found out that I could kind of fix this condition with diet, it kind of got the balls rolling, I guess, or the wheels rolling, that, if this one thing could affect my health in that big of a way, like, what else could diet do? And that really started my passion and interest for it. I was always kind of interested in it regardless, but, like, that really kind of hit close to home and kind of made me see it for myself firsthand, the difference that diet can make. Once I complete the dietetic internship, I plan to pass the registration exam, obviously, and then I plan to begin work, hopefully in the New Orleans area, and find a job that's, awesome for me to start out and begin my career as a registered dietitian. In 5 years, hopefully I'll be working with my preferred specialty, whether that be geriatrics or pediatrics. I'm not sure yet, but I hope to be in a job where I can really be there long term and really develop as a dietitian in that role. Well, this is a good question, actually. I just started a job as a caretaker for a lady who has multiple sclerosis, and she is paralyzed from the neck down. I work a night shift on Thursdays, and I come in at 8:45 p.m. and I'm there until around 7 a.m. And so other than meeting her briefly before I started work, and this was, when I met her, it was maybe I was there for 30 minutes, it was just kind of speeching around where things are and to kind of meet her. And, to make sure that, she thought I was, suited to take care of her. So, the first night I worked was a lot of trial and error, because she's a very particular woman who likes things done in a very ritualistic, certain way. So when, I was, for example, when I was getting her ready for bed that night, she has a certain way that she tucks in her sheets, a very certain particular way. And what she was communicating with me to do didn't necessarily, it wasn't making sense to me. And I could tell that she was getting, a little impatient and frustrated. And, I was doing my best to not show my impatience on my end, and just saying, like, it's okay, let's just try this a different way, or how about I do this, like, will this work? So I guess, when I talked to her that night, and, she was kind of frustrated with me, and, I can't really blame her, because if I was paralyzed and wanted things done a certain way, I would get frustrated too. But what I took away from that situation was, I kept my cool. I was actually very kind of proud of myself that I, kept my cool. Not that I would explode on her or anything or yell at her, but, I didn't want to show her that I was maybe frustrated too, or, a little uneasy about the situation of, possibly making her unhappy by not doing something right, And I think that's something that can apply to a lot of situations in dietetics, Maybe you're not communicating right away with a patient about their diet or whatever, you're talking about. And I guess it's good to, keep that professional face, for them. Don't let them see that you're frustrated or uneasy. Well, studying for a big exam kind of starts on day one with just going to class. Attendance in general is a huge part of preparing for a test. And then on top of that is taking good notes and keeping those notes organized, and other class materials organized. So what I'll do is basically, I'll obviously attend class, take good notes, keep them organized, and then about a week or maybe even more out, depending on how comprehensive or big this test is, I will make kind of an agenda of what I want to accomplish each day. Say I want to get chapters 1 and 2 covered on Monday, and then 3 and 4 covered on Tuesday. And then if I start out early enough, I don't have to scramble for, if I can't find the answer to a question I'm looking for, I can get in touch with the teacher or maybe another student in my class and kind of use those resources to answer any questions I may have. There was a situation last semester where I was handed back a project in one of my classes at the end of class, and I went home and looked it over and had my syllabus sitting there and found that I was docked off more points than what I probably should have been for a part of it. And so I emailed my professor and said, I don't think I should have missed this many points for, this particular section. She's like, bring it in tomorrow during class and we'll look at it. So after class, we took a look at it, and she actually ended up agreeing with me and giving me back a couple points. Now there were other sections where I'd gotten a couple points docked off, and those were actually there for a reason, and I knew that. I compared the syllabus to it. But I went straight to the source and talked to her firsthand. I didn't send an angry email or anything like that. I think it's good in those situations to, not maybe share it with your classmates or fume about it, like, oh, I got points taken off and this is unfair and I'm angry and I'm going to write an angry email. I think it's good to just be polite, maybe take it at face value that it was an error. People do make mistakes, even your teachers, and, to go straight to the source and handle it in an appropriate and adult manner. I think that anyone would say that they're better at focusing at maybe one thing at a time, or two things at a time, but life doesn't really work out that way. I was always involved in high school with extracurriculars. I was involved in cheerleading, student council, Spanish Honor Society, chorus, so I was always busy in high school, and always got really good grades, but looking back at my busyness in high school, it pales in comparison to how busy I am in college. This past semester, for example, I was working on 2 projects the entire semester, had a final paper due at the end as well, was working a job, had my tried-out responsibilities with my leadership position as a recruitment coordinator. That was about 10 or 15 hours a week, was volunteering, and still had exams and quizzes to do on top of that and going to class. And, I can't always say that I got a good night's sleep or always got to, hang out with my friends when I wanted. But I found, when I did have time to do my homework or time to work on this project or that paper, it was kind of like, okay, I need to focus in right now because tomorrow I have class, or tomorrow I have work and class and volunteering. I won't have time to do it then. So, I really need to buckle down and do it now. And I think it kept me, kept my goals in line, and helped me really kind of focus in on what I needed to accomplish then and there. Whereas, if you have all the time in the world to get something done, you're going to put it off until last minute, and then it's not going to be, a good outcome. I am the vice president of membership and the president of our sorority. Basically had to sit down and figure out the logistics of how we were going to facilitate 70 potential new members that would be coming in for one of our recruitment rounds with the already 100 girls that would be recruiting. In years past, our houses never got that many girls on the first round. So we were concerned about overcrowding and not having enough places for girls to be able to hold conversations during our recruitment events. So we had a meeting together. We met and we discussed each of our different ideas, and they were all completely different, and so we kind of left frustrated. But we said, for tomorrow's workshop, because we would have workshops to kind of practice what we're going to be doing for our recruitment events, we will try out each idea and then go from there. So the next day we had our workshop, and we tried out our 3 different ideas, and it actually worked to really benefit us, because if maybe there's one element of, say, my idea that wasn't working, we would fix it, or maybe there's an element of my idea that was working. And we basically ended up combining our original plans into one plan that actually worked really well, and ended up being successful. I just want to say thank you for your time looking over my application and for watching this video. I understand that you guys probably have tons and tons of videos to watch, and that probably gets monotonous, but I just want to thank you for your consideration, and I really hope to continue my dietetic education with you all this fall.